I am Alexei Sekarev. I happen to be the team leader of the Eastern Partnership Territorial Cooperation Support Programme, and I'm happy to use this opportunity and address all the stakeholders of the territorial cooperation at a very important stage of the program, namely the stage of the call for proposals. A couple of words for the background. The European Union has initiated territorial or cross-border cooperation between the 6 countries of the Eastern Partnership: Armenia-Georgia, Azerbaijan-Georgia, Belarus-Ukraine and Moldova-Ukraine, in order to assist the stakeholders in the regions to jointly address common issues of interest: economic and social development, environmental protection, people-to-people contacts. We have been working for 2 years already in the region, and we are currently at the stage that the partners have found themselves across the borders. They have developed the joint ideas of projects, and they are ready to apply for the European Union grants in order to implement the joint undertakings. So at this stage, we want to offer to all of you assistance in order to be that you are able to apply for the projects meeting all quality and all formal requirements. And this is the sense of our video that we are now offering to you. The main actors of the programs are stakeholders from the regions, those who are partners and who will be working together in the program. However, you should know that the project, the whole program is being managed by the Joint Decision-Making Committee on the one hand and the Managing Authority on the other hand. The Joint Managing Committee is an institution where the 2 countries, for example Armenia and Georgia, come together and decide about the priorities of the program. The Managing Authority is actually the institution which will be receiving your applications and will be doing the selection of applications, and afterwards those who are lucky and win the competition, they will be awarded the grant contracts from the Managing Authority. The Managing Authority will be working in the name of the European Commission. So basically this is the European money that you will be receiving in case of a successful application to implement the projects. So the task is for us to explain to you how your application may become successful and may lead to the award of the contract. My colleagues will continue and give you a very detailed walk through the application form and then a walk through the budget of your project, so that all at least formal criteria are met and your application takes part in the competition in the full scope. This application form training, which I was talking about, is one of the forms to assist you as applicants to apply to the call for proposals and submit your proposal in the deadline which is set by the Managing Authority. There are also 2 other forms of training. One of them is the information day, which immediately follows to the announcement of the call for proposals. And finally, when your applications are ready, we will offer to you the so-called project clinics, which means that we will go through your application and advise you on whether or not all administrative criteria and all formal requirements are met or not. If they are not met, you will be offered assistance to correct what has been wrong by chance or by occasion in your application, so that we guarantee that at the moment you submit your application to the Managing Authority, all formal criteria are met, and it's only the question of quality of your application which is essential for you getting the contract awarded or not. So in addition to these 3 forms of capacity building trainings that we will offer to you in the stage of the call for proposals, there is plenty of good material and useful material you can use by visiting our webpage, which is www.eaptc.eu. And these are best practices which have been gathered in the framework of territorial or cross-border cooperation in other European regions. This is between the European Union member states and, on the other hand, European Union member states and the neighboring countries, for example, Moldova, Ukraine, and Belarus, Ukraine, Poland, and so on and so on. The other thing is that you can find there profiles of international donors that are working in your region and can be useful when you will be in need of showing how you do the co-financing for your program. Every project application will be funded from the program funds only to 90% of its total value, and the remaining 10% of the value you will have to find on the cash-based form somewhere else. You can contribute your own funding, you can find it from donors, and this is exactly the information for you on our webpage, which can guide you to the donor who is working in the similar area as your project intention is, and who may be addressed for the additional funding in case it matches the policy of that donor. We have also prepared for you and placed on the webpage the so-called guides to the national requirements. Every applicant to the program operates in its national environment of legal and administrative regulations, and the overview of those regulations you will find as well on our webpage, where you can see how do I post my banking details, what implications this posting or information about my banking details has for my application, and all sorts of things related to work international grants are presented in those guides. And then we also have prepared the overview of typical mistakes based on the other programs' experience, which are made by the applicants and which are very sort of minor, but they can lead to the fact that your application is simply denied at the very initial stage of formal checks. So this is, once again, on the one hand, you can see on the web page under the typical mistakes, and on the other hand, this will be attended also in the project clinics, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. The call for proposals comes at the stage where the society in the local units and also nationwide are already informed about the essence of that program. What does it mean for the country? What does it mean for the regions? And how can the applicants avail from the grant projects to meet the local development needs? And this awareness is a result, among other things, of our communication and information activities. Every development of the program is on the web page and has been covered quite widely by the national media. And in addition to all these media coverage, we have introduced a network of informational multipliers. One informational multiplier is working in each participating country, and his or her task is to ensure that no information gets lost at this very important stage of the calls of proposals. So these network of informational multipliers will be present at all events during the call for proposal. For example, at the very first event, which is Information Days, about all the requirements of the call. And they also have the task to ensure that not any possible applicant misses the information about the opening of the calls of proposals. Of course, the call for proposal comes at the stage where the partners have found it themselves and they have identified the project ideas, but nevertheless there are also many quite strong organizations who have good ideas and who have also good experience, and formally they can apply even at this stage. So this is important. This informational support for call for proposal is an important step to ensure the comprehensiveness of the participation in the proposals by all those who may do so, who work in the regions, who have a partner across the border who match the program priorities and so on and so on. This is the role of international multipliers. And of course, again, I encourage you to visit our webpage in the section of information activities, where you can see where you are expected actually to be registered, and you can also go through the database of potential beneficiaries. And maybe if you are in need of an additional partner, a third or fourth partner to underpin your project idea, you can find this organization with their addresses and contact details on our webpage. So again, this communication, this introduction has the objective to lead you into the call for proposal stage. As I said at the beginning, my colleagues will continue with a very detailed analysis and support to you how to fill in the application form, how to avoid the typical mistakes, what is allowed and what is not allowed to be included into the application, and also how you design your budget and what is important not to omit in the application. I wish you every success in your applications, and we look forward to your projects, not that you also win those projects and you are awarded the contract, and then you implement your projects to the benefit of your community, of your city, of your region, and also to the benefit of the good neighborhood between Armenia-Georgia, Azerbaijan-Georgia, Belarus-Ukraine, and Moldova-Ukraine. Thank you very much.